let's look at the very first change that happened to the Mus'haf itself. So the first change that ever happened in the history of Mus'haf was the addition of Tashkeel. The addition of Tashkeel. So if you notice here, the script is the same, everything is same. What do you notice the difference here? You see some red dots there? This is basically telling you, if it is A, E or U. This was a little different. So the history of this is what I want to get into. So what happened is, during the time of Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, he asked this person, a scholar. His name was Abu al-Aswad ad-Du'ali. So he was very famous. So he was like expert in Arabic grammar, you can say. So he was very well known. So Sayyidina Ali approached him and said, why don't you make the Mus'haf easier? It is difficult for people, especially who are not well grounded in Arabic. And like a lot of people were becoming Muslims, or Arabs even, trying to learn the Quran. So it was difficult for them, what is EU? But he was like very afraid, because any change that you make to Mus'haf, you will be like, not me, not me. It's a big task. So he said, I don't think it is necessary. So he's like, he didn't do it. But then what happened? He saw a person reading a verse. This verse from At-Tawbah in verse number 33. I don't have the Arabic here, but the translation of that verse. Notice this. Try to focus on what I'm saying, because the translation here is very important. If you mess up on A and E, it completely changes the meaning. So the verse that he read, the way actually it is supposed to be, Allah and His Messenger break all ties with the pagans. So Allah and His Messenger break all ties with the pagans. But that person, instead of saying Rasuluhu, he said Rasulihi in that verse. So what happened to the meaning? It means Allah breaks all ties with the pagans and His Messenger. You see how it changes? So Allah is basically breaking tie with the Messenger. It's like, very big thing, a very wrong thing that you're saying. So he was like shocked when he heard that. I mean, he was like, did the state of this ummah go this bad that they can't even know when to say Fatha and Kasra? So he then thought about, okay, Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu asked me to do this, so I should go ahead and make tashkeel, help people when to say A, E and U. So he came with an idea, and he hired people for writing this. So they put red dots. So if the dot is on the above, they would say A. Like I put the current script here, huwa, like hu wa, and you put on the where is it? This is the one, huwa. Yeah, huwa. This is the one. So if it's a, they put on the top, and if it is E, they put on the bottom, and if it is U, they put in front of the letter. That's like the left of the letter, right? So you see all this. So people would know that way. So it's difficult to read, right? But people at that time would read so fluently, probably faster than us, how we read this one. So that's how they would do. But that was like very, very first time. This happened when about like 40 Hijrah, you can say. That's the time when Sayyidina Ali was ruling, 35 to 40, in between that time. So this was officially made the copy by Sayyidina Ali. So if you see Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu made significant changes, then Sayyidina Uthman and Sayyidina Ali all played some role in there. So these three khulafa for the development of the Mus'haf. When did the first Mus'haf was compiled? When was it compiled? Remember? 12th Hijri. And then the recompilation during Sayyidina Uthman was when? 24th Hijri. And then 16 years later, in 40th Hijrah, this was the first change. And during this time, Sayyidina Ali, so that time nobody said, hey, you're introducing new thing, or this is a bid'ah or something. Nobody said that. Why didn't they say that? Why was everybody quiet? Because Sayyidina Ali said so, right? He is Ashra Mubashara, guaranteed Jannah. So nobody can argue with him. So he did a very good thing, and it helped really a lot of Muslims. So nobody objected to it. Everybody was fine. But later on, let's see what happens. The different changes that we see. The second change that happened, the Nuqat. What is Nuqat? We just mentioned, right? The dots. So if you notice here, there are no dots actually. Those red marks are the Fatha, Kasra and Dhamma. By the way, there are no Shadda there even. Shadda, Sukun is still not there. It's going to come later on. But this change, the Nuqat, now the people, now if you notice in Arabic, if you notice there are 5 letters. If you don't have dots, they will all look the same. For example, Ba, Ta, Tha, Noon, and which one? Yeah, all look the same, right? So 5 letters, and also Jim, Ha, Kha, all look the same. So all these letters, people, there's no way we will know. Especially people who don't know Arabic at all, there is no way you can know. Let alone Arabs can read, but we ourselves will not be able to know what it's talking about. But they can read fluently. Why? Because they are used to it, and you know, they will know by context what it's talking about. So they'll immediately know very quickly. So that was causing a lot of confusion and doubts among people, and also that would actually change the meaning as well. So the early scholars like Hassan al-Basri and Muhammad ibn Sirin rahmatullah, they were like very, very famous that time, about like 80 Hijrah or so. They were the top of that nation, you can say. So they knew the need for it, and they saw that people need it. So they started to add in their own mushaf. They started it, how to identify Ba, Ta and Ya. But it wasn't like official at that time. Umayyads were ruling that time. But later on, there was this Khalifa, the Umayyad Khalif. After Sayyidina Ali, who came into power? Muawiyah, and after that who? Yazid. After that, again Muawiyah, same name Muawiyah, and then Marwan, the 4th one, and 5th one was Abdul Malik ibn Marwan. So he wanted to make it official, that I want to add Nuqat officially and distribute it to everybody. So it's very important that it comes from a Khalifa, otherwise things don't go forward. So he, also Hajjaj ibn Yusuf, you know that how he was a tyrant. He was actually pushing for it. This one good thing that we actually credit him for this doing a good thing is that he pushed for this change, to add Nuqat. He killed so many pious people and everything, but for this particular task, he really helped Islam a lot. So Yahya ibn Yamar and Nasr ibn Asim, these 2 people were the ones who added Nuqat. And by the way, these 2 people are actually students of the one who added this one, the Tashkeel. So these were the 2 people. And so what happened then? So the new Muslims, now it was easier for them. And around, as I said, around 80th Hijrah. So after 40 years later, around that time, not exactly, around 80 Hijrah. So, but now the problem happens that, scholars then said, why do you want to change more? Let's keep Mus'haf as it is. Let's keep it pure, how it was revealed. And we know it's difficult, but people should figure out. They should put an effort. They should figure out. So many scholars were against it. And people asked Imam Malik also later on, what do you think about all these Nuqat and Tashkils? He said he was actually the one of the strong objection scholar against this one. He said, if it is for children, that is okay. But adults should try to learn Arabic and figure out. So that was a very tough stand that he took. But later on, the scholars understood when Islam expanded so rapidly. They understood the need for it. The later scholars, they all didn't have any problems with it. So now today it's like almost a consensus. Nobody ever objects for it. So based on the need, the scholars, they bring in a lot of rules of maqasid al-sharia, the principles, and they said, okay, this is not a bid'ah. So today, alhamdulillah, imagine if we didn't have tashkil and nuqad, how would we read? Probably nobody would read. But Imam Malik's rahmatullah alayhi, his point was also valid. Now all of us, alhamdulillah, can read mushaf, right, easily. But how many of us know Arabic really? How many of us know Arabic? We don't know because if it was the case that there was no nuqat and no tashkil, we would make an effort to learn Arabic and then understand it better. So that point is lost. So that's in that way Imam Malik was correct, that people will stop making efforts. Next, what happened? So around 10 years later, about like 90th Hijrah or so, the next Umayyad Caliph, the sixth Khalifa, Al-Walid ibn Abdul Malik, he came into power. Then he ordered calligraphy. So he wanted to beautify the Quran a little bit. So the scripts, the script was like kind of random. So now the rules were made. Okay, dal should look like this. Should it go above the line or below the line? So that kind of calligraphy that came into picture. Now it's started to become a little bit standard. So his name was Khalid ibn Abi Hayyaj, the person who did calligraphy, trying to beautify it. And that happened in around 90th Hijrah. And after like 100 years later was another person, Khalil ibn Ahmad. During that, now it's like time of Abbasids now, whole different government. Now he modified, actual modification of tashkils and nuqat. And he also added now new things like shadda and so on. And now he changed the tashkil from, like earlier it was dots, like fatha was dot on the top. He changed it to like what we have today, like a mark like this. So he made it simple, right? It looked more beautiful and it looked more easy. And maybe he added tanween, I don't know, but he made it more simple and more beautiful through his script.